Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Daily Debate. My name is Ahmed Nader, and tonight we'll be focusing on the Egyptian support for the Palestinian cause. As we have seen today, a meeting by His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi with the National Security Council in the country, as well as the decisions that were taken following this meeting. Another meeting that took place today was between President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the American Secretary of State Antony Blinken during his visit, of course, to the Middle East in general and to Egypt in specific, as well as the statements that were made by His Excellency President al-Sisi and the American Secretary. Of course, we'll be starting straight away with the top stories for today, and they come through the presidential activities of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, who on Sunday had held a meeting with the Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli. Presidential spokesman, Councillor Ahmed Fahmy, said that the meeting followed up on the domestic issues and the ongoing nationwide mega national projects. As I mentioned, there were statements made following the meeting that was held between President al-Sisi and the American Secretary of State Antony Blinken, as President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi asserted that Egypt is exerting the utmost efforts to contain the deteriorating situation in the Palestinian Gaza Strip and to prevent other parties from entering the conflict. Over talks with the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, who is currently visiting Egypt, President al-Sisi asserted that the Israeli reaction went beyond the self-defense and reached the collective punishment to the Palestinians. Al-Sisi reiterated the total rejection to targeting civilians in the ongoing conflict, asserting that the lack of the political solution to the conflict has led to more fury on the side of the Palestinians. He warned that any further delay in solving the Palestinian cause will lead to even more victims. Al-Sisi also stressed that the humanitarian aid must arrive to Gaza to alleviate the suffering by the Palestinian citizens. And finally, for the top stories, earlier on Sunday, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi had presided over a meeting of the National Security Council. Presidential spokesman, Councillor Ahmed Fahmy, said that the meeting tackled the latest regional developments, especially the Israeli military escalation in the Gaza Strip. The meeting issued several decisions, including containing and continuing the communications with the international and the regional partners to de-escalate the violence and to stop targeting of civilians, and intensifying contacts with the international and the regional aid organizations to secure the passage of the needed humanitarian aid to Gaza. The meeting stressed that there is no solution for the Palestinian cause except the two-state solution, and rejected the forced evacuations against the Palestinians or trying to settle the Palestinian cause at the expense of the neighboring countries. The decisions also included the Egyptian readiness to exert the utmost efforts for reaching a truce and resuming the peace process, confirming that the Egyptian national security is a red line that must be protected. Meanwhile, Egypt offered to host the regional and international summit to discuss the development and the future of the Palestinian cause. Those were the presidential activities of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi over the day, and more specifically on Sunday, as we will be having the activities of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in the past week, over the past week, in the upcoming report. So stay tuned.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received a number of phone calls from various heads of states, kingdoms and leaders, and made similar calls throughout several days. Councillor Ahmed Fahmy, the official spokesperson of the Republic, stated the calls discussed the consultation concerning the efforts exerted to stop the ongoing escalation between the Palestinian and Israeli sides in light of the region's latest developments. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi received Mr. Tedros Adhanom, Director of the World Health Organization. As the World Health Organization Director granted Mr. President the gold-level certificate regarding the elimination of virus C, hepatitis, congratulating Egypt and emphasizing that it's the first country in the world to receive this certificate. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi received Kim Jin-pyo, the spokesman of the National Assembly of South Korea's director. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi witnessed the Police Academy celebration for the cadets for the year 2023. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi received Mr. Gianpietro Benedetti, Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Italian company Danili. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi received Mr. Antonio Tajani, the Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of Italy. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi witnessed the graduation of the new cadets of military academies and institutes for the year 2023. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi received Mr. Osman Saleh, the Eritrean Minister of Foreign Affairs, and Mr. Yamani Jabr Ab, the Eritrean President's Advisor for Political Affairs. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi received Mr. Hakan Fidan, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Turkey, in the presence of Mr. Sameh Shoukry, Minister of Foreign Affairs, and Major General Abbas Kamel, Head of General Intelligence. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi received a phone call from the French President Emmanuel Macron as part of the ongoing consultations between the two presidents regarding developments in the military escalation in the Gaza Strip.